Medieval India, chapter number 9, page number 95. Climax of the Vijayanagar Empire and its disintegration. As mentioned earlier, there was a confusion in the Vijayanagar Empire after the death of Devaraya II. Since the rule of primogeniture was not established in Vijayanagar, there was a series of civil wars among the various contenders to the throne. Many feudatories assumed independence in the process. The ministers of state became very powerful and began to exact presents and heavy taxes from the people, causing considerable distress to them. The authority of the Raya shrunk to Karnataka and to some portions of the western Andhra region. The rulers were sunk in pleasures and neglected the affairs of the state. After some time, the throne was usurped by the king's minister Saluva. The earlier dynasty thus came to an end. Saluva restored internal law and order and founded a new dynasty. This dynasty also soon came to an end. Ultimately, a new dynasty called the Tuluva dynasty was founded by Krishnadeva Raya 1509 to 30 was the greatest figure of this dynasty. Some historians consider him to be the greatest of all of the Vijayanagar rulers. Krishnadeva had not only to re-establish internal law and order, he had also to deal with the old rivals of Vijayanagar, viz. The successor states of the Bahmani kingdom and the state of Odisha, which had usurped many Vijayanagar territories. In addition, he had to contend with the Portuguese, whose power was slowly growing. They were using their control over the seas to browbeat the smaller vassal states of Vijayanagar in the coastal areas in order to gain economic and political concessions. They have offered to buy the neutrality of the Raya by promising him assistance in recovering Goa from Bijapur and giving him a monopoly in the supply of horses. In the series of battles lasting 7 years, Krishnadeva first compelled the rulers of Odisha to restore to Vijayanagar all the territories up to the river Krishna. Having thus strengthened himself, Krishnadeva renewed the old struggle for the control of the Tungabhadra Doab. This led to a hostile alliance between his two main opponents, Bijapur and Odisha. Krishnadeva made grand preparations for the conflict. He opened the hostilities by overrunning Raichur and Mudgal. In a battle which followed, the Bijapur rulers were completely defeated. 1520. He was pushed across the river Krishna, barely escaping with his life. The Vijayanagar armies reached Belgaon, occupied and sacked Bijapur for a number of days and destroyed Gulbarg before a truce was made. Thus, under Krishnadeva, Vijayanagar emerged as the strongest military power in the south. However, in their eagerness to renew his old feuds, the southern powers largely ignored the danger posed to them from their commerce by the rise of Portuguese. Unlike the Cholas and some of the early Vijayanagar rulers, Krishnadeva seemed to have paid scant attention to the development of a navy. The conditions in Vijayanagar during this period are described by a number of foreign travelers. Paes, an Italian who spent a number of years at Krishnadeva's court, was given a glowing account of his personality. But he remarks, he is a great ruler and a man of much justice, but subject to sudden fits of rage. He cherished his subjects and his solicitude for their welfare became proverbial. Krishnadeva, also a great builder. He built a new town near Vijayanagar and dug an enormous tank which was also used for irrigation purposes. He was a gifted scholar of Telugu and Sanskrit. In his many works, the only one in Telugu on polity and a drama in Sanskrit are available today. His reign marked a new era in Telugu literature when imitation of Sanskrit works gave place to independent works. He extended his patronage to Telugu, Kannada, Tamil poets alike. Foreign travelers like Barbosa, Pace, and Nunes speak of this efficient administration and the prosperity of the empire under his sway. The greatest achievement of Krishnadeva lay in the broad toleration that prevailed in his empire. Barbosa says, "The king allows such freedom that every man may come and go and live according to his own creed, without suffering any annoyance and without inquiry whether he is a Christian, Jew, Moor, or heathen." Barbosa also pays a tribute to Krishnadeva for the justice and equity prevailing in his empire. After the death of Krishnadeva, there was a struggle for succession among his relations since his sons were all minors. Ultimately, in 1543, Satish Raya ascended to the throne and reigned till 1567. But the real power lay in the hands of a triumvirate in which the leading person was Ramaraja. Ramaraja was able to play off the various Muslim powers against one another. He entered into a commercial treaty with the Portuguese whereby the supply of horses to the Bijapur ruler was stopped. In a series of wars, he completely defeated the Bijapur ruler to inflict humiliating defeats on Golconda and Ahmednagar. It seems that Ramaraja had no longer purpose than to maintain a balance of power favorable to Vijayanagar between these three powers. At length, they combined to inflict a crushing defeat on Vijayanagar at Banni Hati near Talikota in 1565. This is also called the Battle of Talikota or the Battle of Rakshas Tangadi. Ramaraja was surrounded, taken prisoner, and immediately executed. It is said that 1 lakh Hindus were slain during the battle. Vijayanagar was thoroughly looted and left to ruins. The Battle of Banihati is generally considered to mark the end of the great age of Vijayanagar. Although the kingdom lingered on for almost 100 years, its territories decreased continually, and the Raya no longer counted in the political affairs of South India. The concept of kinship among the Vijayanagar rulers was high. In his book on polity, Krishnadeva Raya advises the king that with great care and according to your power, you should attend to the work of protecting the god and punishing the wicked without neglecting anything that you see or hear. He also enjoined upon the king to levy taxes from his people moderately. In Vijayanagar kingdom, the king was advised by a council of ministers which consisted of great nobles of the kingdom. The kingdom was divided into Rajyas or Mandalam provinces, below which were Nadu district, Sthala sub-district, and Grama village. Thank you for tuning in. In the next part, we'll start with the final paragraph on page number 97, starting with the Chola traditions of village government. All the best for exams. Do share and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. On your screen right now, you might be seeing some videos of chapter number 8, 7, any videos you want, you have it in the playlist. So do play them, do listen to them, and hope you have success in life. Thank you everyone.